Okay, I'm back with another Suzerain Kingdom of Rizia. Okay, so like yesterday, there's quite something like a very tense tense situation happening. Okay, so it seems that you know that Palace, okay, Palace, well, we have a border clash between Palace and our border, and it seems that at first we received report that they went into Fort Alice or something like that, get a castle, they Palace fired, and they like went into a castle, but okay, it turns out when try to use the diplomatic solution, it seems that it's all well. We done a joint investigation, and we found out that the one who's behind it is probably Lucida, okay, the woman that we could court. But okay, but in a sense, I kind of understand because even though that she's much more reasonable than her father, she's still kind of like a warhawk. She's still kind of a warhawk. Okay, she saw that we've been trying to like place ourselves like the diplomatic strategist country, right, among the nations here, because we do have problems with almost every other country bordering us. Okay, so Palace with the Aureus gas field, Lesbia with the fact that they are one of they are one of the ally of the superpower. And then we have Wagland who took over Zil. We have Dirdia who's not happy with the fact that we have a gold condis ban. We also have Morella with the fact that they kind of like, well, at least Morella is a bit better because they worry about human rights and everything. And I can't believe I just said human rights and everything. Well, point is that humans right, workers right. Okay, I wouldn't say we are doing the best, but we're slowly inching closer to like fixing everything. Okay, yeah. So I think like Morella, they saw us like kind of like a gray area, like a gray partner. Like we did good things, we also did bad things. Okay, so like they don't have like a specific reason that really hates us. Okay, yeah. And with that, okay, we did a joint investigation. We found out Lucida was a very high suspect in all of this. Okay, and we kind of like locked her up. Okay, and that also means that we also like wasted our investigation, because like we were investigating like some people. So for example, we were investigating Hugo, we're investigating Titus, we're also investigating Cell. Our mother, we found out that she's a worshipper of a different religion, and she's been keeping a secret from us. Okay, that's not a big problem. So a lot of things happens, and then when the turns start, we kind of see that we have like an ominous title, which is the Art of War. Like, I could, if we take it literally, we might be facing a war, but it could also mean like, the Art of War isn't about fighting in a war. The Art of War is preparing before the war even begins. Okay, so like for us, even though like we're about to go to war with like Wahlan or like these other countries, but we are able to like diplomatically, politically maneuver around it. Okay, because we did try to like placate these countries that I mentioned just now, right? So with Lesbia, I have the choice to take their stake in the new myths. Okay, and like I thought real hard. Okay, because I already like make them very angry. Number one, with the fact that I stole the Aureus gas field from underneath them. That's one, and that's kind of a big thing for Lesbia. Okay, because they are supposed to, Hal is supposed to give Lesbia that. Okay, well, probably supposed to sell, and then I also like nationalize myths, and on top of that, if I want to steal, their share, I probably am gonna like anger them so much that they might even, okay, even if they won't declare war, they might declare economic sanction. Right now is that Lesbia, okay, you cross some lines, but I don't see a reason to like nuke you in terms of like either strategically, militarily, or otherwise. Okay, so but we can't count on Lesbia to be our ally. Okay, that's one thing I would like to say. So yeah, territory of Zil. Okay, so like I say, I did redo my one, okay, which is that I didn't use my authority to sell energy. I just did like a medium-sized sale, okay, and I have 5 budgets right now. So here we're just gonna go through it again, okay, but I'm just gonna like speed up because it seems Titus can win with the fighter, okay. I did try to do it, but oh, Titus can win. Like maybe that kind of like affect our outcome, you know? So so somewhere, okay, we're gonna participate. Gordian, don't pull any punches. Okay, at this point, okay, like I felt that it's kind of dangerous because it says here, Lauren looking dumbfounded, reached a hand down to help. Titus swatted away, lurched unsteadily to his feet. He had a look in his eyes that bordered on feral. So here, I actually say nothing when I try to do it. If I say I didn't try to say kick his ass because that might just instigate. So if we say nothing, Titus and Lawrence stare each other down for a moment, then resume their dance. This time with a slightly more aggressive edge. The 10 minutes were nearing their end. With a glance at me, Titus casually switched his stance from right to left, throwing his opponent off guard and allowing him to land a decisive blow to the jaw. Lawrence shook it off and smiled. He held both hands in the air, signaling his concession. Asma signaled for the circle to stop chanting. He applauded. The Lord has blessed us with a beautiful fight. Lauren, you may not have won, but you are still my champion. You will make a fine adept. He took his disciple's hand and kissed him tenderly on the lips. Oh? Okay. The hand. The surrounding crowd erupted into cheers. Titus looked around uneasily. Is that normal here? Unfortunately, Captain Gordian, it is. Grimace. Saint Ruhex would despair at what they have done to this sacred teaching. Do you not agree, Your Majesty? Because funny thing is, they treat women like, you know, second-class citizen, but they allow homosexuality. I don't know whether if this is progressive or regressive. Like, it's progressive the fact that they allow homosexuality. It's regressive the fact that women have no choice of, like, you know, going to a higher tier. It's not my cup of tea, but I won't disparage their culture. Personally, I find the glorification of violence more disturbing than the sight of two men smooching. Wait. He took his disciple's hands and kissed him tenderly on the lips. Wait. I thought he kissed him on the hand. Oh my god. Are they bisexual? Oh well, I'll just say, personally I find the glorification of violence more disturbing than the sight of two men smooching. Both are a mockery to Wurtz's values. We turn our attention back to Azmal. The disciple had begun to disperse. An auspicious start to our morning. This way, please. Okay. This one I think roughly is the same. Okay? This one is roughly the same. So that's like the whole reason I want to show you is because of that. Cannot choose this one. Your so-called pilgrims were illegally occupying our sacred. What else could I have done? You act with Golconist and similar. I think maybe we can say this. Is it terrorism to protect one's right to exist? Insurgency to break chains that our oppressors have placed on us? Asma crossed his arms. We do not want something from me. Blasphemy law. Attain Golconism has millions of practitioners, all of whom would testify that we are following the one true path of Saint Ruhism has laid for us. Ruhek would have never condoned homosexuality. Doesn't enlightenment through violence directly contradict Ruhek's teachings? Don't you see? You're both right. We don't have to agree with each other to practice diplomacy, Primarchman. Can we not get around this? This is what Dirtians want, Your Majesty. I'll be a bad leader if I do not try to provide them. My people have mined your gold, build your weapons. Oh, this is still the same. At least the Dirtians in Rizia are compensated for their labor. How many years must one toil as one of your seekers before seeing a cent of wages? I said this the last time. You speak of us as though we are charities. Can you promise that your people will respect the rule of law? This is what I answered last time. Okay. So, I do want to remove the ban, but like I say, at least with this, I have word from him that he's gonna preserve the 3 Arc Sanctuaries, okay? Unfortunately, we have no choice. This is the whole reason we redid that I redid the choice yesterday. Thank you, Your Majesty. Saul struggled to keep his expression neutral. I'll not forget this act of compassion, Grand Wiseman. My people thank you. Okay. Now what do you want? Strengthen our ties. I hear you sold oil and gas to other Merkopan countries. Perhaps you would be willing to ship it to us across the Gulf of Meridia. That's exactly the kind of strengthened ties I was thinking of. When two like souls converge, the divine smiles upon them. Okay. Alright, energy agreement it is. 2 energy, minus 2 energy. Wait, minus 2 energy, plus 2 budget per turn. Wait, this is even better! You know what? I thought it was like 2 energy per turn. Minus 2 energy per turn. It's actually like just 2 energy. Oh my god, this is the steal! This is a steal, man. I will hold you to your words, to those words, Supreme Wiseman. From my lips to God's ears. But I have another favor to ask. He kept a smile on his face. Ah. Shall we go? Yes, we've done all we are set out to do. Osmond reached out his hand to me. You're welcome back to the garrison anytime. Anytime, Your Majesty. Ooh, what the heck? I don't like him. Like, he even treat like Alma Santana, even though that we're not the Prime Minister of Morella, he doesn't want to talk to her because she's a woman, even though she's the head of state. So that's why, like, I'm not gonna say you're welcome. I'm just gonna shake his hand. Okay. Deodia and Rizia agreed to increase energy trade. Oh, you're only a +2. But at least our economy is +9. At least. Requested meeting with Uncle Hugo. Okay, here is something that I haven't checked up yet. My shoes echo on stone as I walk down the palace corridor to Hugo's study. My uncle had invited me for a one-on-one talk, and though I had plenty on my mind, I could hardly decline. I just remained on guard outside as I pushed open the door and stepped inside. I cast my eye over the filigree mahogany desk, the antique cabinets and tasteful paintings and sculptures lining the walls. A fire flicked in the fireplace. 2 leather armchairs had been set out in front of it, one empty, the other occupied by Hugo. My uncle rose and bowed upon my approach. Your Majesty, thank you for joining me this evening. Come off it, Hugo. It's just the two of us. Talk to me as an equal. As you prefer, Romus. He beckoned me over and we both sat. Tell me, my nephew, how much thought have you given the future of House Toras? A king's legacy should not be determined by his words and deeds. Should be determined by his words and not his lineage. It's the future of my kingdom that concerns me, not that of my house. Ooh, we shouldn't say that, because remember, we need his support. But I still think it's a good way to say number one. But how will his words and deeds live on with no name to remember him by? Our family's roots can be traced all the way back to the Resonant Empire. We have survived war, conquest, and numerous challenges to the throne to be where we are today. Let me just lower down the volume a little bit. He picked up a poker and jostled the log in the fireplace. A shower of sparks flew upwards. You'll be happy to know that House Toras is quite pleased with your reign so far. They better be. I've done nothing but try to earn their favor since taking the throne. And not really, because like I did try to balance with the people. My decision as king has been made with my country in mind. If my cousins like them too, that's just a bonus. Yeah, I think this is good. Thank you for telling me that. It means a lot to know I have Valankri supporting me during these trying times. Not bad as well. Then what's with the danger of losing it all talk? But I think number 2 is the best. Consider that bonus earned. The RNC reclamation of seats in the House of Delegates was an extremely positive development. Your favorable tax policies have helped Valankri's landowners flourish, even in the face of uncertainty. Of course, the investment you made in our home province has been greatly appreciated. What kind of king would I be if I couldn't keep my own family happy? Not bad. Is that why you summoned me here to tell me what a good job I've done? Even if I haven't done all that, they would have liked me. I'm the king and the house heir. We'll just go with number 1. Indeed. But there is something that could cause you to lose our house entirely, or rather, someone. Manus Saison. Yeah, he's definitely thinking about Venna, dating Saison. I'm certain you had good intention in allowing the Saison heir to court Venna, but I will tell you this: if you permit Her Highness to marry this man, your grip on the throne will weaken to the point where I cannot recover it. They're in love. I can't deny that. For your information, I like Mr. Saison as a politician, as a potential son-in-law. I want to trust him. I want to trust Saison, okay? Because Saison, he does show that he's not doing this, being a politician, just to take back his power, okay? It seems like he's genuinely thinking of the people. He'll give up his name if he marries her. Their children will be Taurus's. Yeah, the problem is that they don't like it's not like they don't like the name. It's that they don't like the fact that he's of Saison lineage. He's not just a Saison here. He's the heir. He's the House of Delegates opposition leader. Marrying him to Venna will help neutralize him. I think this is just wishful thinking. Seriously. they're in love, I can't deny that. You truly are your father's son. You needn't allow your reign to be undone by a pair of starry-eyed youths. There are actions that can be taken. I've been good to his house. Perhaps I can convince him to back off. Action sounds like a euphemism if I ever heard one. But who do you want to let Vina marry? Because when we send Vina to Palace, it seemed that she kind of has some kind of chemistry with Duke Reinhardt. So I want to hear her opinion on Duke Reinhardt. Action, that sounds like I'm gonna remain neutral. You're right. I should speak to you like as an adult. He's an ambitious young man. There must be something he wants more than the princess. And if the carrot doesn't work, there's always the stick. What the fuck? I like carrots. They're full of vitamins. I'd rather go straight for the stick. King Romus bends over backwards to nobody. He just said like, okay, I'll talk to you as an adult. I like carrots. They're full of vitamins. What kind of answer is that? I will neither use carrot nor stick. I maintain that Saison Air is a useful ally. Yeah. I wish they gave us a fourth choice though. Like, I'll talk to, like, I want the fourth choice where we can talk to Vina before we do anything. Like, this is just being dumb. This is like hostile. This is like basically like supporting him. I want another choice. Are we gonna play dumb? Let's play dumb. By all means, make him an offer. However, this doesn't solve the problem of whom the princess should wed. I'll hazard a guess. You think the lucky groom should be Rico. I have a half mind to marry her to Axel Reinhardt. I don't want her to marry Manus. That doesn't mean I'm going to force her into a marriage with someone else. Let's ask about this. Axel Reinhardt. Hugo drew his breath through his teeth. Risky. Very risky. We came dangerously close to war with Palace. I would not trust the Duke with your daughter just yet. Think about it. It's the ultimate gesture of Rizzian-Palatian unification. Reinhardt's a nice guy, not that we've gotten over our misunderstanding. Don't you see, having Reinhardt as a son-in-law is the surefire way to get him under my thumb. Think about it. I think the best one's number 2. Or yet another opportunity for a Palatian power grab. As I said, you have earned House Toras' loyalty, but name the wrong man as Prince Consort, and you run the risk of losing it. He paused. Well, unless you can produce a male heir by yourself. I should stop harping on about this. I know you and the princess will make the right decision. And just say, your advice is always valuable to me. Hugo held up a finger. One more thing. Your Duchess of Zaro now indisposed, it is imperative that you choose a new security council. How is she faring in prison, by the way? She's in high-end women's facility within the Fort Grayson Citadel. I would not worry about her treatment. As to candidates for her successor, incredibly, it seems that General Thaddeus Zaro is on track. Oh no! Oh no! We're not gonna have him! We're not gonna have him! We're not gonna have him. Give him a few more months and he'll be ready to resume his former position. Oh, I must say that I dread the prospect, especially given the circumstances. You still want to serve me after I jailed his daughter? You have been a friend to the House Cesaro, perhaps enough so that he is willing to overlook this incident. I have no doubt of his loyalty to the crown, as long as you keep his daughter alive, of course. I would never execute Dr. Cesaro. I still harbor fond feelings for her, you know. I suspected the two of you were close. It's for the best that nothing came of it. I do have another qualified candidate in mind. He nodded towards the door. The meathead in charge of security? I want him taking bullets from me, not commanding our armies. I know Titus is still sore I never expanded the Golden Guard. Naming him a security counselor would more than make up for that. A security counselor with no house and no agenda to push. It could be a refreshing change. His services have been indispensable in keeping the royal family safe. And what is Rizia if not extended royal family? He smiled. You may not know this, but Captain Gordon petitioned King Valero about the interim security counselor position after General Azaro fell ill. That's interesting. My father's saying. Look what happened to Lucia. Okay, say that's interesting. He appeared interested, however. He signed the order for Dr. Cesaro to fill the position without so much as interviewing the captain. At any rate, I leave the decision up to you. We rose from the chair. The fire began to flicker out as Hugo ushered me out the door. Titus shadowed me down the hall as I made my way back towards the quarters. On the way there, we passed by my study door. Come in for a second, Titus. I want to speak to you privately. Certainly, Your Majesty. Titus and I entered the study. I shut the door behind us. What is it? How are you? I'm well, Your Majesty. The fate of Zil has been weighing on my mind, as I'm sure it has yours. You have no idea. You bear an unimaginable amount of responsibility. I do not envy you. What? Was that all you wanted to answer me? Can I ask you something? What happened to you back in Dirdia? Titus flinch. I must have been thrown off by altitude. I'm sorry if my performance displeased you. No, it happens to the best of us. Watch the fight. He barely touched you. There's simply no way that blow is enough to make you collapse. He lowered his eyes. Yes, you're right. It's an old bug thing injury. Trauma to the kidney that I never fully recovered from. It flares up sometimes, especially when there's an impact to the wrong area. Rest assured that I never let it get in the way of my duties. Was your injury the reason you left your post the night my father died? Let's ask this. He stared at me with a mix of fear and shock. Who told you that, Your Majesty? Before she was arrested, Lucida considered you as a suspect in my father's possible murder. That's rubbish. Considering what we know about Dr. Cesaro, I wouldn't trust a word what she told you. Do you have any other requests? No. Hypothetically, how do you feel about an expansion of your duties? Titus immediately snapped to full attention. Are you finally considering an expansion to the Golden Guard, Your Majesty? There may be another opening, a rather higher profile one. He straightened up even further. I'm happy to take on any role for which you deem me suitable. I know you petitioned my father for the security council position. Why didn't you tell me? My god's breath caught in his throat. I was embarrassed to have even made the request. Your Majesty, obviously, I was neither as qualified nor suited as the heiress of House Cesaro. After the events of the past several years, though, I would be proud to put my name forward. Will that be all? You're dismissed. I'll be along in a minute. I'll leave it to you, Your Majesty. With a bow and salute, he left the room, calling Manus. After telling Titus to wait outside, I walked into the study and picked up the phone. I asked the palace operator to give me a private line to Manus Saison. After a few rings, he answered. Your Majesty, to what do I owe this pleasure? What would it take for you to go on a permanent vacation? The line was quiet for a moment. I'm not sure what you're getting at. There are people out there who want you killed. It's dangerous for you to stay in the country. I appreciate your concern for my safety, but I've had a target on my back since the day I was born. I found it's best not to live in fear. I put it this way. If you agree to leave Rizia and break off all contact with Vina, I'll make it worth your while. You're a politician, you know that sometimes we have to sacrifice our individual desires on the altar of the greater good. I heard a sharp intake of breath. What greater good are you talking about, Your Majesty? If you really think I abandoned everything I worked so hard for, his voice trailed off. Well, there is one way I could be convinced to honor your request. Angelica Saison has been imprisoned in Calicobits for nearly 30 years. Bring her back to Itza, and I'll take my leave. And what do you expect her to do there? To keep my house unified. She's more than happy with the direction in which you've taken Rizia. And if you want to keep my house's favor, her return will be crucial. If you agree on this, I don't just want you to leave, I want you to break Vina's heart. Okay. Let's talk about the ceremony that we had, okay? Basically the divination. Now, it could all just be like, you know, Sal's, you know, delusions, okay? But if that's true, okay? They say about the 3 heads, right? One need to be cut off so that the other 2 will survive. So I think it refers to the house, okay? So we have House Saison, we have our House Toras, and we have House Azaro. So, like, I want to gain Saison. I want to be friends with Saison because, like, they are the populace. If we don't have them, then our country will not be able to give a voice to the powerless. Okay. So I think Saison is a good ally, but I'm not sure about Manus, whether he really loves Vina. And then regarding House Toras, there's 2 people in House Toras that I'm worried about, which is Hugo and the son Rico. Rico is dumb. I will not, under any circumstances, want to ally with Rico, because I can see him, you know, getting power hungry. I don't want that. Okay, I would never let Vina marry Rico. That thing is clear. He may, you know, since he's still, you know, of royalty, of nobility, I wouldn't mind leaving him as like a governor of a small province. That's the highest I'm willing to let it go. Okay? And about Azaro, we kind of like nip in the bud with Lucida now in jail, right? But it seems Azaro is still happy with us. But if we go together with Saison, then Toras might be angry with us. I'm not sure how Azaro feel about that. They may not like it, but they will not rebel, I think. Okay? So looking at it, I might need to cut off my own I might need to cut off my own Taurus family, you know? Like right now, maybe I do need to take, if I take out Rico, I have to take out Hugo as well. Saison and Taurus cannot be together. If I do that, will Azaro stick with me? Oh god. But I do see that Vina is quite happy with Reinhardt though. Okay, let's see how it goes first. Okay. And her own politics, is she hungry for change as you or I? So you love your mother more than my daughter. So I stay with number 2. Everything I learn about politics, I learn from her. Take from that what you will. I want Saison to be. I got a feeling that the mother is. I feel like the mother hold a grudge against us. Okay, at least like Manus, I can still deal with. Okay, he still respects me. I don't know how the mother will feel because she is like, she is exiled for like 30 years already. Screw this. I'm not giving to my uncle. Stay in Rizia and I'll find a way to bring Angelica Saison home. You will, Your Majesty. You would have my house eternal gratitude. Don't tell Vina I tried to get rid of you, though. Good, I'll need it. I'll help you in any way I can. Good night, Your Majesty. I put down the receiver and look at the phone. Should I call Rico? Should I call Rico? I think if I call Rico, I'm just gonna get angry. So we just leave. Like, if you have nothing good to say, don't say at all. Let's leave. Because it's not gonna end well. Titus escorted me back to my chambers. My guard wished me good night before taking up his usual post outside my door. I climbed into bed. I thought about my conversation with my uncle. Who would carry on my name? And what would my legacy be? I want Vina. I want to talk to Vina. I want to know what's her opinion on on Duke Reinhardt. He doesn't seem like a bad guy. Blasphemy law removed. King stepping up military resistance to besiege monarchy. King acquires jet. Geopolitics. Bendonosum civil war escalate. Rizia to provide air support. United Contana Congress addresses State of the Union and revolutionary expansion. Congress Contana Chairman Leo Malane of Chantignon. Wait, communists? Did I say communists just now? Because communists in this world is being replaced by Milanovic. Because he's the he's basically the father of it. What I want to check? I remember I want to check something. Oh yeah, Reinhardt. Let's see him. A legion, Rizia, and Vulgus from a cadre of elite. Growing up, he was often Featured in the international tabloids for his good looks and variety of interests, he has displayed a penchant for equestrian sports, classical music, archaeological exploration, and his pursuit have often been marked by a blend of thrill and scholarly curiosity. His charisma made him a popular figure among the Polynesian and Rizian speakers of Palace alike, and following his brother Ngolma's abdication in 1948, he was a natural choice for successor. I do think that Vena would click with Axel though. Because it does say that he's very, like, he's an elite. If, like I say, if we know more about Manus personally, I would have been more open to him, you know? But the fact that we exiled the mother for 30 years, it's like, does he have, you know, is he gonna shave me in the back? Okay. 750th anniversary of Itza University. Camera flash all around as my royal motorcade roll up to Itza University auditorium entrance. As King of Rizia and one of Itza's University most famous graduates, I had been invited to speak at the institution's 750th anniversary. 750? Man, that's long. Vina agreed to come along, with Manus as her date. The two of them were in the car behind mine. The driver came around to open my door. I took a look out the window. We stopped right in front of the statues of myself and my family. Our heads had been replaced. The likeness looked good as new. Titus' voice come from the passenger seat. I don't think you should exit the car yet, Your Majesty. My scout reports a number of individuals protesting near the entrance. A mix of students and foreigners by the looks of it. Not a problem, just a bit of healthy dissent. It doesn't bode well for your own health. Should the offenders be removed? Leave them be, make sure I don't get attacked. Will do. Titus and his guards shield me as we walk through the roiling crowd. I hear shouts for rights for all and down with House Toras. To my relief, we made it to the auditorium unscathed. The seats were already full of students, staff members, distinguished alumni, and nobles from House Saison. Many wore outfits adorned with the Itza University mascot, an anthropomorphic cactus named Spiky. They rose and bowed politely as I proceed down the hall. I was halfway to the stage and the hall erupted in cheers. I turned my head, see Vina and Manus waving to the crowd. Vina split off for the front row and I took my place on stage next to Rico. Why? He was seated with his legs spread out, his expression radiating barely concealed disdain. Sit properly and show some respect to this venerable institution, Duke Ricardus. They don't respect me around here. I don't see why I should respect them. But as His Majesty commands, he reluctantly assumed a more formal pose. The lights dim and the Dean of the University stepped on stage. After a short presentation about the history of the university, she invited the Duke of Iza to speak. Nobody clapped as Rico took the stage. See, this is why I don't like Rico. Nobody likes him. Even I hate him. My cousin stepped behind the podium and cleared his throat. As reigning Duke of Ita, I am honored to speak at the anniversary of Rizia's most renowned university. I must confess to you all, the only higher education I have received is from the School of Life, and I haven't even graduated yet. Nobody laughed. Rico frowned and continued. But when I took charge of Ita, I realized what an important role this institution plays. Ita University was founded in order to preserve our kingdom's cherished tradition and pass them on to the next generation. Wait, is it loud? Yeah, I think I should lower it down. Yeah, I think now it's okay. To instill young people like yourself with a stable moral center, even when one is lacking outside these walls. But somehow over the years, that purpose was lost. The school has become a breeding ground for an ideology that prioritizes foreign perspective over our own. A place where this nation's greatest achievements are seen seen as problems to be worried over, not triumphs to be celebrated. And where youths are led to believe that the complex realities of today can be solved by waving signs and chanting, he leveled his gaze out at the audience. This isn't education, it's indoctrination. A student sitting near the front yelled, "Fascist!" Rico jerked his head in her direction. This is exactly what I mean. You can't speak the truth in this country without getting smeared with meaningless accusation. His mouth curled into a sneer. Now, if I actually were a fascist, do you think I'd let this young lady make it out of this auditorium alive? The crowd erupted into fury. Their boos escalated into full-throated shouts with "Down with the Duke!" Rico, get off the stage, it's time for the king to speak. Rico opened his mouth to retort, then closed it. He nodded his assent. The audience began cheering as he retreated from the podium. He spoke to me under his breath. You see what I'm up against? I doubt you fare any better. Just watch, I have them eating out of my hand. I took Rico's place behind the podium. I could feel the tension in the hall. I glanced at Titus. He was scanning the crowd, alert for the slightest sign of danger. I took out the notes I prepared. My fellow cacti. A few students whooped. I am proud to be an alumnus of the oldest and most prestigious university in Rizia. No, I apologize for the earlier interruption. It was unbefitting for this momentous occasion. After nearly a millennium, Eastern University remains a beacon of freedom in a kingdom that so rarely enjoyed it. Like my cousin, I believe in the power of institutions like this one to shape the next generation of Rizians. And so it gives me no great pleasure to see how far the school and the city around it has fallen. What I love about this school is its diversity of opinions. Yes, even anti-monarchy is one. Which is why... we'll play neutral. We'll play neutral, okay? I actually want to say this. But he's not a political enemy. He's a nobility enemy. I heard a few incredulous murmurs. When you graduate and go forth into the world, I want you to keep questioning authority, including mine. Your voices matter to me. You are the future of this country after all. I've heard your calls for a change in leadership. I am taking them very seriously. I'm asking you to be patient. The change you want to see is coming to Rizia, but it will take time. But I beg you, consider the consequences of your actions. The revolution you are calling for would only bring destruction to you and your loved ones. But the challenges our nation is facing are greater than any of our individual concerns. Now is not the time to let petty differences tear us apart. Maybe I'll say this. I'm asking you to be patient. A rumble of discontent rippled through the crowd. I urge you to put aside your grievances with myself and my cousin and focus on the real enemy, the foreigners on our doorstep. If you have complaints, take them to the elected representative. That's what the House of Delegates is for. Someone in the audience yelled, "Now!" A group of students in the middle row seats stood up simultaneously. They removed their jacket to reveal white shirts and letters printed on them. Together they spelled the word oppressor. Chanting rights for all, they began filing out the auditorium. The students and teachers in the other rows followed. Organized dissent? I love it. Takes me back to my own student days. Nobody knows this. What the hell? You know, let's redo. I think we'll pass some stuff. I think we'll pass some stuff then. Because I do want, but I'm not sure what's gonna happen. RPP. I do want to pass this, but I want to do it the next turn. I can pass this easily. Oh, but I do not have enough. I don't have enough authority. Okay. Tenant protection laws. Okay, we're good. Oh, this is kind of good. Build energy storage facility. This decree mandates the construction of energy storage facilities in Bronas to bolster energy security and ensure a stable supply. Additionally, it will lower upkeep costs by minimizing energy wastage and enhancing overall system efficiency. So it might need to reduce this. These facilities will store energy surplus generated during peak production periods, preventing shortages during high demand. The decree will help modernize energy infrastructure, promote efficient resource, and reduce reliance on energy curtailment and capacity. Not bad. Housing for the poor. Okay. Right to housing and shrine. Homes declared sacred. I hope this would, gain their favor. But just in case, in case I need 5. So, can I sell energy? I need authority to sell. Never mind then. I think right now, authority is something that I'm lacking the most. Oh wait, give me a second. Now I'm scared. Do I have enough to pardon her? Because I'm scared I need to use authority though. Which I just use all. Uh, we'll go with this one first. We'll go with this one first. Can you give me a moment? Let me just check Saison. Angelica Saison. Tigron Ita as the heirs of House Carranzas, one of the 3 noble families that historically alternated rule of the city-state prior to its incorporation into Brenas in 1810. She attended Ita University, where she met the future Duke of Ita, Lucas Saison. The two of them were married. It is rumored between them. Believed that they leveraged their considerable influence and resources to orchestrate some of the uprising keys operation, including the kidnapping of royal heir Romus Toras. After Toras' rescue and the Wahlan-aided restoration of the monarchy, the pair briefly went to hiding until Angelica agreed to turn over Lucas to the central authorities in exchange for a stay of execution for herself and her unborn child. Since 1927, she has lived in exile on the islands of Calicobits. Yeah. If only you can talk to Manus about this. Oh well, let's see how we if it's better now. Try not to use any violence. Sit properly. Get off the stage. It's time for a king to speak. Just watch. I have them eating on my hands. My fellow cacti. I'm proud to be an alumnus of this oldest and most prestigious university in Rizia. After nearly a millennium, Ita University remains a beacon of freedom. Maybe we should not talk about the cousin, okay? War, revolution, and social upheaval. These halls have seen it all and live to tell the tale. What I loved most... Maybe I say, which is why I am truly dismayed at that the Duke of Isa has allowed a culture of hate and intolerance to pervade this place. Rico was staring daggers at me. The two Omina members in the audience shifted in their seats uneasily. He speaks of unity, yet seeks to draw arbitrary lines between us and them. My family took it upon ourselves to keep the peace here after Duke and Duchess of Saison were disposed. I'm afraid we have failed. Your current Duke is a disgrace. I've heard your calls for a change of leadership in this city, and I take them seriously. The volume of crowd was beginning to rise. Rico looked agitated. His eyes darted back and forth from me to the audience. Because he's not... If I do this, I'm gonna make an enemy out of the Toras family, though. Still, I ask you to have patience. Your Duke is young and has much to learn. Perhaps all of you can learn together what it means to coexist. Have faith in your ruling house. It may take time, but order will prevail. Someone in the audience yelled now. Rights for all. Organized dissent, I love it. Nobody acknowledged. Rico and I watched as the auditorium gradually emptied out. Only a few people remained seated. Vina and Manus were among them. At the same time, they both rose from their seat, turned around, and left the room as well. You bastard! I should have pardoned her before, you know? I should have pardoned her before. I should have pardoned her before, dang it. There is already an active scene. Can we redo and we just free her? This is yesterday. Oh my god. Why does things always have to be so hard? Like, these people were trying to help them. trying to help them. Okay. Let me see. Sell. Let me see. Welfare. Health and education funding. We still need more. We still need more budget. So we're still gonna sell. Workers' right protection for all industries. Oh, we can't. We need to have like additional authority to like for me to pass the this one's I don't get the Rizzler. Also delegate. Okay, let's just go with it. Then I have work to do. In fact, I do. I expect the criticism. Glorious Exorisia. Any thoughts on today's session? Funding to ATA. Okay. I would always prefer to have like 5 budget. Can I sell? This one is authority. We're not gonna use it. We're gonna use small sale. Okay, we got 5. I'm surprised you study a region that it's twice that much. Humbled to be here. Okay, let them fight. See nothing. Ruhex riding. To be honest, I've been too busy to take my entire Peruvian scripture. Doesn't enlightenment through violence directly? You're both right. At least Dirty and Rizia are compensating labor. Give me a second. Okay, authority. Strengthen ties. Sell. We're done. Let's go. Shake his hand. Okay. Next, it's fun or wrong, like whether we want to support them. Some war. With the conflict's outcome hinging on the decisive confrontation, some requests Rizian's support comes at a time of intervention could significantly alter the war's trajectory. Battles in the industrial heartland of Rankara, the port of city of Penguvi. I'm scared if we don't help them, then monarchy will fall. Okay, Hugo. They better be. I've done nothing but to earn a favor. Bonus. Couldn't keep my family happy. They're in love. I can't deny that. Actions. Carrots. Axel Reinhardt. Thanks for bringing this up. You've given me a lot to think about. How is she faring? You still want to serve me? Call him Menace. There are people who want you killed. It's dangerous for you to stay in the country. I'll put it this way. If you agree to leave Rizia and break off your contact with Vina, I'll make it worth your while. You're a politician? And what do you expect her to do there? And her own politics. This one is I'm scared. Everything I learn about politics, I learn from her. Take from that what you will. Screw this. Good, I'll need it. Let's call Rico and see how he reacts. Ask the palace operator to give me a private line to Rico Toras. A few rings my cousin picked up. Your Majesty, it's been a while. Is there something I can do for you? Just making sure. No, nothing. Just making sure you pick up the phone when the king calls you. Absolutely, Your Majesty. You are my bloodkin and the monarch of this kingdom. I will serve you for as long as you hold the throne. And you never do anything to cut that time short, right? No, never. See you in Iza next month. I hear we are both invited to speak at the university anniversary. I'm looking forward to it. All those bright young minds. Bright my foot. When I was their age, I was leading rallies, not idling around in the classroom. Good night. Okay, Titus. How about you? You have no idea. Back in Dirtia. He barely touched you. Higher profile. May I know why you didn't tell me? You're both down here. You may escort me back to my chambers now. Okay. Okay. Here. Let's issue a pardon. Oh boy. Greater pardon. King stepping up military assistance. Blasphemy law removed. King acquires royal jet. Royal decree drastically increased. Energy export set to increase. Energy export to increase minimally. Wait, Weckland deploying special forces to Vernon has announced that the city of Vernon has been put under curfew along with 7 other towns in the northeast of the country. The Wexford Army has deployed specially trained military forces in the combat specially trained military forces to combat the military organization known as the British Freedom Front. Weckland has increased its effort in fighting terrorism with aerial campaigns and ground operations targeting BFF militants and their hidden bases. This operation will surely have consequences for the region, particularly for the neighboring countries Lesbia, Rumburg, and particularly Sortland. It has a large population of Bluish people living inside its borders. Okay. Before we do anything, let's pass some laws. We already passed the workers' right protection though. What about gender pay? Tenant laws. Okay, why not? Let's pass this. And lastly, the tenant protection. I don't have enough. 2 authority. Dang it. Okay, now we're doing better, I think. Why don't police? Must have reported an individual protesting near the entrance. 2 members by the look of it. Not a problem, just a healthy dissent. It doesn't bode well for your health, but try not to use any violence. Wait, I was halfway. Behind him was a dark-haired woman. Angelica, stop and talk to her. I stopped and waited for her to reach me. She approached me with a smile. I suddenly remember watching her give a speech in this auditorium nearly 30 years ago. The same person in front of me was much older, but had the exact same fire in her eyes. King Romus, we meet at last. We meet again. I saw you speak when I was studying here. Romus the Merciful, too arrogant. Dr. Ceylon, it's a pleasure to see you here in Ita. You are the mother of my future son-in-law. I couldn't let you rot away on the island. We meet again. Oh, that's terribly embarrassing. I'm sure I was parroting whatever revolutionary nonsense my husband was filling my head with at the time. I don't blame him for what he did. Rizia was hungry for change. It still is. Lucas had the right idea, but his methods left something to be desired. The revolution bought with blood will never succeed. Her eyes traveled past me to Rico, who was already sitting on stage. I should be getting to my seat. We will speak again soon. Try not to blame yourself for what happened. Focus on the future. I will, thank you. She stepped away from me and continued down the aisle. I think like because we freed her, that's why like the 2 Omina members are here. We now split off for the for the front row as I took my place on the stage next to Rico. He was seated with his legs spread out, radiating. Sit properly. Nobody clapped as Rico's talk. This isn't education, this is indoctrination. A student sitting near the front yelled fascist. Rico jerked his head in her direction. See, this is what I mean. I realized the hall had gone silent. All at once, the people sitting in the back row stood up. They were all wearing military-style jacket and patches bearing the Su Omina insignia. Moving in unison, they marched down the aisle towards the student who shouted and roughly yanked her out of the seat. Unhand her by the order of the king. The Su Omina member gave Rico a questioning look. After a few long moments, he nodded. They let go of the student. She raced past them out of the auditorium. That's enough, Rico. It's time for the king to speak. He spoke under his breath as he retreated. I had this under control, Your Majesty. That girl had done nothing. You embarrassed us both. The audience had started speaking in a hushed whisper. They quieted down as I took Rico's place behind the podium. I glanced at Titus. He was scanning the crowd, alert for the slightest sign of danger. I took out the notes I prepared. My fellow cacti? I apologize for the early interruption. It was unbefitting of this momentous occasion. After nearly a millennium, Itza remains a beacon of freedom in a kingdom that has so rarely enjoyed it. What I love about this school is its diversity of opinions, yes, even anti-monarchist ones. I look at you, I see the future that I want this country to have. Diverse, curious, and unafraid to question authority. Even in a city where fanatical supremacists are allowed to run rampant, you stand your ground. Wait, that's it? That's it? So I'm gonna destabilizing incitements. The nation had become more porous, giving way to a surge of intrograde, smuggling, and unauthorized migration. This vulnerability underscores the urgency for the bolstered defense mechanism and stricter border controls. Border controls, eh? Maybe we'll go for this. Safeguard our territorial integrity, but also resonate positively with our populace, enhancing their trust in the state's protective measures. Yeah, I think we might need to expand border guards. We go for that. Will lower upkeep by minimizing energy wastage. Lower upkeep. So it's gonna be 0. But I think it's not a bad idea to like toss it. Okay. Who to choose? Titus, of course. Thaddeus is dangerous because I'm scared. Like, he's a warhawk. He's much of a warhawk than Lucida. Might as well put Titus. Always environmental protests escalate. The kingdom faced a growing environmental movement against the Aureus project located in Fort Alice. Protesters driven by ecological concern are blocking roads and demanding immediate action. You must now decide whether to address the concern directly, allowing the protests to continue peacefully, or take a firm stance to disperse them. Ignore the processor. Scores of environmental protectors have blocked routes and tramlines all over the city. Some local residents complained about being unable to make it work on time and demanded authorities to take action, while business owners lamented lost revenue. Most disruption ended by evening. Reports emerged on Torture Prison. The BFF guerrilla group has announced to the world that it managed to reveal the existence of a torture facility deep in Wetlands proper. The ultra-strict prison is supposed to not only hold BFF members, but also some of the arrested reported as missing in the aftermath of Zil bombing, possibly including Rizian citizen. Oh, we can ask. Meeting with Queen Livingston. The thump of the airplane wheels on asphalt jolted me from my sleep. I was in the bedroom of my royal jet, the King's Wings. It had been a long but smooth flight to Thornburg. I had just finished getting dressed when I heard a knock on the door to my compartment. Your Majesty, are you decent? I've always tried my hardest to be a decent man and a decent king. With a smile, he entered. Just making sure you're ready to meet for our meeting with your sister-in-law. With all the foreign turmoil happening lately, it is comforting to know that Queen Beatrice is still on our side. Whatever's that worth, Rumburg hasn't been looking great internationally. She had better be. I've been bending over backwards for Rumburg since my coronation. Okay, let's say she's family. Family members support each other no matter what. Says the guy who just stabbed a family member just a few moments ago. Yes, I have no doubt that Her Excellency still harbors warm feelings towards you. The plane door slid open, and aide informed us that everything had been cleared for our arrival. Thornburg Airport, one of the biggest transportation hubs in Merkopa, had been completely emptied out of passengers for our visit. As we descended the airplane stairs into the tarmac, a horn quartet played a jubilant fanfare. Photographers in a cordon of press area eagerly began snapping pictures. A red carpet stretched from the plane to a waiting motorcade. Next to a pair of limousines, Beatrice Livingston and the Rumburg royal family waited to greet us. The Queen had a compassionate look in her eyes as I approached. We exchanged cheek kisses. My dear brother-in-law, what a pleasure it is to finally host you in Thornburg. I'm looking forward to your legendary Rumburgian hospitalities. Your niece sends her warmest wishes. How lovely. I'm just dying to hear about her time in the Grand Duchy. She abruptly turned and regarded Lorento, who was standing behind me. Mr. Escabel, His Majesty is lucky to have retained the service of a fine statesman like you. The good fortune is all mine. With a flourish, she knelt and kissed Beatrice's hand. Ooh! Let's not delay. We have a full program of events planned at the Emerald Palace. Oh, you remember King Consort Boris and Prince Bradley? Lorento and I exchanged cursory greetings to the two men. A chauffeur opened their limousine door and they stepped in. Queen Beatrice, Lorento and I escorted over to a second car. I hope you two don't mind the company. We have so much to catch up on. I thought we should start right away. Good thinking. You never know who's listening in there at the palace. I assure you, our security is second to none, but of course, one can never be too careful. We got into the car and sat facing each other on leather banquets. The engine thrummed to life and we began moving. Once we were in motion, Beatrice smiled at the two of us. Well, look at us, still allies after all these years. My energy ministers tell me that our deal is going swimmingly. Your business-friendly policies have helped both of our nations greatly. The rumored turmoil in Ether gave me pause, but I trust you know what you're doing. I do, but my vision for a transformed Rizia is far from complete. As long as we have Rumble continued support, we shall not falter. You will, fear not. I must compliment you on your skillful de-escalation of the palace situation, unless, of course, that was Mr. Escabel. You're too kind, Your Excellency, but it was His Majesty who ferreted out the traitor in our midst. Ah yes, what an unfortunate turn of events. She turned to me. I had hoped to meet this Duchess of Zaro someday. It's rare to see a noblewoman who's also a capable military officer. Too good to be true, as it turned out. My new security council is just as capable, if not more so. Too good to be true, as it turned out. All that potential wasted on warmongering. In any event, well done, and managing to keep your access to Aurea's field. What a feat. Yes, as long as the relationship with Palace stay friendly, we have the means to fulfill our energy commitments for years to come. Excellent. We wouldn't want to have to go begging to Scotland now, would we? I understand. You've been having some trouble with the Republic lately? Scotland has trouble with us, as the Escabel, not the other way around. It's true we closed our embassy in Lackhaven, but that was a long overdue response to the Republic's many attempts to isolate us. And their President Rain, Anton Rain, which we played, had the nerve to condemn us. Laurento looked distressed. He nodded at Beatrice to continue. Frankly, Your Majesty, the fact that Rizia is maintaining its connection to Scotland amounts to a betrayal in my eyes. I'm not a fan of President Rain either. I just got to honor the deals I made President. I respect that you are a man of your word, but I fear that the Swedish president is not. He may not appear at the moment, but Rain is most certainly up to something. He will stab both our kingdoms in the back with no hesitation, mark my words. We rode on. I look out of the window at a completely empty freeway. How is everyone in Grace? How do you feel about the Grand Duchy of Palace joining Grace? You look at me in surprise. Why, I'm always happy to add more members to our exclusive club. Especially ones with such prodigious natural gas reserve. I've not yet broached the subject of Zil. Right, your oil embargo helped us to get a very favorable deal with Falkland. I thank you for it. In that case, that deal doesn't work out. I have another opportunity for you. He leaned forward and spoke confidentially. I suggest that you take advantage of Rumber's contacts within the Bluish Freedom Front. They're Blues, but they're terrorists. That's it. Of course, I welcome the opportunity to assist devout Roosters in need. I thought they're terrorists. They are a persecuted minority fighting an oppressive government. And their struggle can conveniently be channeled towards Zil. Laurento coughed. Oh, no. If I may, Your Excellency. Zil has nothing to do with the former Great Bludia region. Why would the BFF get involved there? You have established Rizia as a safe haven for their so-called religion. Besides which, any action that destabilizes the Smolak regime will help the Bluish cause, no matter where it is carried out. Laurento pondered over this for a moment. I'm loath to suggest violence as a solution to the Zil conundrum, especially since Wakla may yet return the region through diplomatic means. The BFF have their own fight going on. I don't want to interfere with it one way or another. If we funded the BFF and Smolak found out about it, you'll have an excuse to hold on to Zil forever. Why do I get a feeling you're trying to use both Rizia and BFF for your own good? BFF towards your own ends, Your Excellency. Yeah, I think I'll see number 2. And who would tell him? Do you run that leaky of a ship, Your Majesty? I don't like this. I'll figure out a way to retake Zil. Suit yourself, Your Majesty. It was just a suggestion. At any rate, Your Excellency, thank you for this offer and for entrusting us with such sensitive information. Why, certainly. What are allies for? Now, is anything else on your mind? Only what your talented chef will be served us for supper tonight. How important it is to you that Rizia stay a member of Grace? What happens if your tensions with Scotland escalate? Do you expect Rizia to fight for you? She raised an eyebrow. First off, there will be no escalation, not if President Rain knows what is good for him. Second, Rumberg has enough reservists to fight for a century if we need to. Calling in our distant neighbors would be a waste of ship fuel. Out of a corner of my eye, I saw Laurento nod in agreement. But of course, I would expect you to support the cause in whatever way you could. Should that day come, Rizia will be there for you. That's very good to know. Getting caught between trading partners will be most uncomfortable, but you know where my allegiance lie. Eh. Let's please, sir. Let's say number 1. I do not doubt it. We turn off the freeway. The massive green domes of the Emerald Palace loom in the distance. We finished the journey in a comfortable silence. There was still a long visit ahead of us. Fort Raison, Duke Reinhardt's visit. As the morning sun cast its golden rays over the portrait-lined halls of the palace, I waited for Duke Reinhardt to arrive. The meeting, a follow-up on our recent Aureus gas fee agreement, was crucial in solidifying our newfound cooperation. I paced the grand reception hall, looking at its walls adorned with tapestry depicting the glorious history of Rizia, while Paper was making sure everything was in order. I stopped in front of one of the massive tapestry dated from the 7th century, which showed Resonant Empire at the height of its power. The borders stretched far and wide, including most of the current territories of current day. Morella, Dirdia, Wecklin, and the southwestern coast of Lesbia. What are you thinking about the map, I mean? I was just thinking how much territories we've lost throughout the last centuries. Do you think this is too aggressive, having this in the reception hall? I'm not sure about that. Few threads still link the ancient Resonant Empire and the modern day Rizia. However, he pointed at one map, hung in the corner of the hall. Do you think that particular map might be perceived a bit negatively? It was a very rare map depicting the borders of kingdom in the 18th century, showing Palace as part of Rizia. You're right. The Duke may take it the wrong way. Take it down. That's absurd. It's just a map on the wall. The Duke wouldn't be offended. Yeah, he might. Do you want me to censor history just because our guest finds it offensive? Even better, I want Palace walls. Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, we should ask it to take it down. Pebble signaled to a pair of nearby servants. A few minutes later, they returned with a ladder and swiftly removed the map. Suddenly, we heard a knock on the door, signaling the arrival of the Duke. I'll leave you to it, Your Majesty. Don't stray too far away. Our guest might be thirsty. Before I had time to recollect myself, the door suddenly opened. Duke Reinhardt strode into the hall, glancing around at the paintings and tapestry on the walls. He approached me and we shook hands. Welcome to Rizia, Your Grace. At last, we meet on my territory. I hope you enjoyed the ride. I think we might be a bit too aggressive in number 2. Even though I want to say, I hope you enjoyed the ride. Welcome to Rizia, Your Grace. Respect him. It's great to be here, Your Majesty. He smiled and gestured at a pair of armchairs that had been set up for us. Please. We both sat down. So, Your Majesty, I hope you've been faring well since we last met. I must say the Aureus field has been game changer for us, now the extraction has begun in earnest. From the reports of Rizian oil and gas is sending me, it's been quite a boon to your industry and foreign trade as well. I say we both made out like bandits, wouldn't you? Absolutely. I'm hoping to see its direct result on our economy. It already have, indirectly though. Your support has been invaluable, but there's always room for growth. Yep. Oh yes, with luck, this energy partnership is only the beginning. Look, Your Majesty, I believe the resolution we reach and the crisis we shepherd each other through together amount to more than just handshake or numbers. In light of this, I've been contemplating the future, our next steps. And what might that be, Grace? Our nation have been at this diplomatic dance for a while now. What are you hinting at? I agree wholeheartedly. The resolution was a sign of a deeper understanding between our countries. We can't stop here. I like the way you think. We've been circling around this for years. I told you I've been trying to get Palace out of the Palace under from Lesbia's thumb. And you know Wagner will pounce on us if we are unprotected for even a second. I've seen the way they're eyeing Helgi Island. I also believe Rizia and Palace are natural partners. Our countries are politically and culturally the most closest in South Merkopa, maybe even the whole world. And now we've entrusted Rizia with our energy instead of Lesbia. Our future had become inextricably intertwined. He paused and gave me an intense stare, as if he was expecting me to cut in with an offer. Let him continue. I waited for him to speak. He glanced around the hall for a few seconds before his eyes landed back on me. I would like Rizia to help Palace join Greece. Pulling away from Lesbia will necessitate strong allies with common goals. Rizia is a key member. Have you considered extending an invitation our way? As a matter of fact, I recently discussed this very topic with Queen Beatrice. Rumble would love for Palace to become a member of Greece. Actually, I want to talk to you about this, so I can invite. We cannot take. Okay, I think we'll say this because we did discuss. Is that so? What incredible news! So can I expect you to advocate for our membership at the next Greece meeting? Yes, we will bring it up to the members and initiate your application. What's in it for us if you put in a good word with Queen Beatrice? Are you serious, Your Majesty? Of course not, Axel. I'll put in a good word. Yeah, this part, I thought like, I thought just like asking him, and then like, okay, I'll give you a little bit of money. I was hoping for that. Yes, Grace, it's time for Palace to offer something for retail for change. We control all of Aureus and cut Lesbia from the largest gas field in South Merkopa already. You need us more than ever, Grace, and you know it. If we do this like blackmail... Of course not, relax, Axel, I'll put in a good word. He narrowed his eye, then broke into a grin. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'm looking forward to commiserating over the pressures of the crown with all of you. He paused before choosing his next words deliberately. Speaking of which, the pressure to choose a spouse is weighing on me very heavily at the moment, and with Rizia, I see an opportunity. I'm sorry, Axel, you're not my type. If you're suggesting what I think you are, the answer is no, absolutely not. Let's play around. He laughed. Don't worry, Your Majesty, I wasn't referring to you. However, I have admired Princess Vina for some time now. We formed a connection during her time in Palace. Ask her, she won't deny it. She got the spirit of Rizia in her, and a marriage between us could be... well, it could be something special. I mean, think about it. What better way to reunite our land than through family? You know as well as I do that marriage in our circle is never just about bride and groom. I can't simply hand you the key to our palace. You know as well as I do that marriage in our circle is never just about bride and groom. I can't simply give you the key to our palace. Ooh. Assuming Vina agrees to it, this union would not only be a powerful symbol of reconciliation between our families, but a merging of our country's destinies. Rizia destiny does not involve being ruled by Reinhardt. This must be a peaceful reunification, not a dominion. Ooh, such a merit can only be allowed if you take the Taurus name matrilineally. Listen to me, Your Majesty. My intention is not to execute a power grab. If your daughter does take the throne one day, I'm willing to be the king consort. She can keep the Taurus surname if you and she desire. I do have one condition though. If we are to unify, I want the domain to include Greater Palace. The Palace Administrative District? We want that back from you fair and square. Gladly, but only if my daughter has a part in governing it. But this is gonna make Azaro angry though. I wouldn't dream of having it any other way. Just think about it. I'll bring it up with Her Highness, but if she says no, that's the end of the conversation. What is there to think? You and Vesvenas shall be wed, and our kingdom shall be united as one. Forget about it. Let's not go down this path. Okay, I'll bring it up with Princess Vena. That goes without saying. Thank you. Was there anything else you'd like to discuss? Something to offer you. I believe we can do more than just grace. I'm listening. It's time we stand together. I'll offer you a military alliance. Rizia can give you the protection you require. You won't need Latvia anymore. I envision a grander alliance that encompasses our neighbors in Southern Merkopa. We have to protect this region from approaching world powers. If you and I work together, we can achieve this. An intriguing proposal. Tell me, what would this new alliance look like? You may have already noticed the energy deals I've been making with my neighbors with the help of Aureus gas. I want to create a network that spans Southern Merkopa. Like the world next grid super. Come on, your Grace. Are you in or are you not? I think we've just seen this one, number one. I like the sound of that. But getting more than 2 Merkopa leaders in a room together is like herding cats. Total chaos. Who else is it? Potentially Morella, Dirdia, and Wacklin. All 3 of them, eh? Very interesting. I'm not a gambling man, Your Majesty. Not after certain events that got me banned from every casino on the Falanco Broadwalk. But keep me posted on this scheme of yours. It just might be crazy enough to work. So be it, Your Grace. It's best if we end our meeting here. Oh! If we do this, then we might need to like redo the... we might need to redo the talk with the Grand Wiseman. Okay? Because if we end it in a much more favorable term, we might actually like pull this off, have like a security pack. Okay, I don't think we'll be able to become like a superpower, but at least I can see it like think of it like an EU. Okay, like we have like free trade between the nations in Merkopa. Okay, but Wackland though, do we have to put in Wackland? That's something I don't want. Because Wackland is crazy. Look at Solak. Morella, I think like we can deal. Okay, Dirdia, if I want to have to like do it, I have to like redo the beginning of this turn. Okay, the one where we went to the barracks, something like that. Okay. But then that's quite dangerous though, because if we do that, we definitely like okay, we already removed the Golcondas ban, right? Okay, we already removed the Golcondas ban, so hopefully like we and another thing is that we have to remove the state religion, okay, because it's gonna put us in the middle of this alliance. Okay, so like I say, it might be the EU, so it's basically like we're gonna be at the seat of we're gonna be basically the chairman of this like EU South Merkopan alliance, right? Okay, so we have to be inclusive. We must invite everybody, but that's gonna be a problem with internally. So I gotta keep my people happy. Okay. Keep me posted on this scheme of yours. It just might be crazy enough to work. It'd be best if we end our meeting here. As long as it's not a clear no, that's good enough for me. Was there anything else you'd like to discuss? I do have another offer. I'm all ears. Why don't we say this? Offering a military alliance. The military alliance say, how can the Rizia military protect Palace when it can barely protect Rizia? I have nothing but respect for you, Humanity, but I must admit, your state of armed forces leaves something to be desired. Fair enough. I think maybe we can say I envision a grander alliance that encompasses our neighbors in South Merkopa. We have to protect this region. An alliance between us is only the first step. An intriguing proposal. What would this new alliance look like? Wait, it's the same thing! It's the same thing. Defensive and economic pack. It's not a big game. Who else is in? Yeah, it's the same thing! No, Grace, No, your Grace, thank you. Great, you can call me then we can call it a day. He stood up and shook my hand. Thanks for having me, Your Majesty. It was a pleasure as always. Until next time. Oh god, we have to talk to Venna. Venna. Dinner with the family. Like, the first thing is that I know that she's in a relationship with Saison, right? I want to ask how she feels about Reinhardt. Golden candlesticks stood along the length of the table in the royal dining room. Their flickering light cast a warm glow on my daughter's face, matching the warmth in her eyes. My mother hurried into the room, holding the train of her silk brocade gown. Fable calmly pulled out her chair. Truly sorry, dears. It took two ladies in waiting to squeeze me into this whole thing. But I wouldn't miss supper for the world. It's been ages since the three of us sat around the same table. Yes, even among the many pressures of ruling, a king must make time for his family. The four of us, isn't that right, Fable? Uh-huh. Venna's been highly in demand since her stint in palace. I'm lucky if I can get an audience with her. Venna smiled. It's an exhilarating assignment. Pardon my interruption, but dinner is served. Fable rang a small bell. An army of kitchen staff materialized around the table, bearing plates of food. He fastidiously wiped the dust off an ancient-looking wine bottle before pouring glasses for Venna and my mother, and then me. A rare Cantuable Grand Cru, bottled in 1926, days prior to the uprising. I bet it's aged more gracefully than I have. The others laughed politely. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, but even heavier are the under eye bags. Fable bowed and disappeared back into the kitchen. I looked down at my plate. Dinner tonight was monkey's lobster with rice and plenty of butter. Your father couldn't stand lobster as a child, Venna. I could only get him to eat by telling him it was a magical creature called a sea pheasant. Wait, there's no such thing as a sea pheasant? Okay, I like that. An example of how we all believe what we want to, no matter how implausible. That's not true, Venna. Mother, stop telling lies about the king. I think we're just going number one. My mother snickered, Venna didn't respond. Well, what's on your mind, Venna? You know you can tell me anything. Nothing. Or, well, I had a long conversation with Manus the other day. She slowly put down her fork. The topic of marriage came up. How dare he discuss marriage without asking the king for your hand? Is that so? How lovely. Aha! I know you come running to me about this sooner or later. You look at me warily. And what are your thoughts? Before I agree, there's another marriage opportunity we must discuss. What? To whom? Axel Reinhardt. She pushed away her plate with a stunned expression. Oh honey, don't look so surprised. I saw the way you look at him at the gas deal signing. You like him. Venna reddened. Yes, I think he's handsome. Everyone does. And he's much kinder than the media makes him out to be. But I'm not in love with him. I do not need to tell you how important alliances between monarchies are. You yourself are the product of one. You will grow to love him over time. It happened to me and your mother. You have a chance to make history. Ooh. I think number 1 is not bad. Number 2 as well. It happened with me and your mother. I think this one's just a bit too forceful. We'll say number 1. No, I think because of that, I need to say you grow to love him over time. It happened to me and your mom. You never been in love before. How could you even know that was what you felt? Then an arranged marriage can turn into a genuine affection just as easily as so-called true love can curdle into resentment. I speak, of course, from experience. That may be so, but what about the Reinhardts? Do we really want to merge our house with theirs? I have been privy to your conversation about them. Will one marriage be enough to resolve centuries of tension? This is not a merger, it's an acquisition. Reinhardt and his family will fall in line if they want Rizia's protection. It's not as simple as that. Marriage is only the first step in a long process of negotiation and reconciliation. Rizia initiated aggression against Palace in the first place. It is up to us to offer peaceful resolution. They showed generosity in handing over the Aureus gas field affair. I have faith that they will be reliable partners. It's not as simple as that. Marriage is only the first step in a long process of negotiation and reconciliation. I still don't know. As much as I've enjoyed being on your council, I still believe our kingdom citizens should have a more of a say in its future. I thought that's what you wanted as well. A marital alliance with another monarchy feels just like a step backwards to me. I still have every intention of bringing change to Rizia. Our chances of success will be much higher with the wealth and support of Palace behind us. No, we don't want to talk about that. A monarchical system is not backward in and of itself. Look at Ramberg and its technological advancement. I know it seems that way. I assure you this partnership will benefit everyone in Rizia, not only the nobles. It's not difficult to understand Vietnam. Either you stick with your rigid ideas or die a failure, or marry the Duke and gain wealth and power beyond your wildest imagination. If you can say this, a monarchical system is not backwards in and of itself. Look at Ramberg and its technological advancements. Technological progress isn't societal progress. Ramberg isn't any more enlightened just because Aunt Beer armies can blow up entire cities in one go. Ooh. My mother was smiling proudly. Joining Royal Council has agreed with you, hasn't it? I used to be so jealous of noblewomen like you. They come to my establishment spending like tycoons and talking like encyclopedias. But when I joined your ranks, I realized the price of all that privilege. Sooner or later, you got to put your personal aspiration aside and do your womanly duty on behalf of the kingdom. Your grandmother is right. It was never realistic of me to entrust you with choosing your own husband. Come on, mother. You act as if marrying a handsome duke is a punishment. It's not like that. Marry Axel and you can pursue whatever dreams you want to. No, mother, that's not going to be Vena's life. My daughter is free to choose her own future. Like, we can like, if we make Vena, like, marry him, we can reunify Palace. But I think, like, since we already brought up, like, another alliance, right? Like, the South Merkopa alliance. I think the South Merkopa alliance is enough to, like, keep us, like, together, you know? Like I say, I want to make something like an EU for the South Merkopan area. No, mother, that's not going to be Vena's life. My daughter is free to choose her own future. Okay. Give her. Vena paused, suddenly uncertain. Marrying Duke Reinhardt is what's best for Rizia, isn't it? I have absolutely no doubt that it is. Never mind the kingdom. I want what is best for you. Okay? It's like here we're playing both as the king and the father, okay? Like we're gonna say, yeah, marrying Duke Reinhardt, great for the country. But the choice is still up to you. Because in a sense, well, it didn't happen to us because like we basically like, been forced to, but at least like we like with us we are able to like fall in love with, you know, with Vena's mom, Lena. Okay, and then it worked out until the incident, you know? But I want to give her the freedom, okay? Let's just say I want what is best for you. She took a deep breath. She said yes. She said yes. She said yes. I agree to marry Axel. I just need to figure out what to say to Manus. I'm sure she'll understand. You can always keep seeing him on this. Wait, you can? You can? What the heck, Mom? What the heck are you trying to say here? If you do, use caution. I want your children to have Reinhardt's job. What the hell? Give the Duke a chance first. He could surprise you after all. Oh, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but Fable, some champagne. We got a royal engagement to celebrate. Right away, madam. Yep, scone to the kitchen and return with a bottle. You know, remember about the three houses thingy, right? I'm quite scared right now. What I mean by that is that I wonder if this seems like a betrayal to the Saisons, you know? But I did free the mother. In a sense, like this is like I said, we might have influenced Vena's choice, right? We talk about, okay, this is good for the kingdom because she's like, she also understands like marriage is not everything, but it's a bridge to the next step. So she understands that. So she's like fulfilling the role because she sees both of us, okay? Like, you know, like as a looking at us marrying Elena out of the blue, remember at the start of the game, where we were not given any like, you know, like meetups before this. It's just like, hey, you're gonna marry this girl. Wait, what? Who's that? Oh, she's somebody from Romberg. Like, we were not given time to prepare. Okay, at the very least, like Vina is like at least one step, well, a couple of steps ahead because she's able to fall in love with Manus first. Okay, and also she's able to meet with Reinhardt before all of this happens. Hmm. Pour yourself a glass, Pavel. It's a special occasion. Allow me to savor it. There must be a sword around here in this room somewhere. Or more auspicious here, I hope. Pour yourself a glass. Pavel briskly shook his head. It's very expensive vintage, not to be wasted on butlers. We filled our glasses, and Vena hoisted hers high. The hint of a smile was beginning to show on her face. To a reunited Rizia, perhaps this will be fun after all. Wait, I still have your mother's ring. I want you to wear it at the wedding. Yeah, let's try. Oh, father, it will be an honor. We clinked our glasses. Over dessert, we began discussing the wedding preparation. Oh, damn! Things are moving fast. Things are moving fast. Rufus Grag Royal Gossip. Vena engaged. I wonder what Saison thinks about this though. Rizia Palace, the union imminent? Time will tell. This marriage will will have, but at the very least, ties between the two monarchies will be improved and cemented. How is rumored to be considered the fifth province remains to be seen. Operation Bear Trap begins. This is why, like with Wekland, you know, the moment that we have like fun news, Molek comes. Special separatism, the leaders from Romberg and Northern Lesbia has condemned the Mobilization Order, citing the war crimes committed during the previous assault against the British people, while Scotland has not made any comments on the matter. The Watchtower of Human Rights said that they will be following the developments closely for infractions of human rights violation. Human Rights Watch, HRW. Okay. Let's see. Port Raison. Ensuring continuity of the Taurus lineage. The future of the Taurus royal lineage is at the crossroad with the crown. Tradition dictates that she and any children she may bear take her husband's surname, effectively removing Taurus from the royal line of succession. However, the King of Rizia may issue an exception, allowing the Taurus name to be passed down matrilineally. The Taurus surname and lineage will carry on through Vina. Okay, it seems like this is the end of the turn, okay? Wait, what turn is this? Turn 7. Okay. I do want to pass tenant protection laws, but next turn. Let's build the storage facilities. Kronos. Because it says it's gonna reduce the administrative costs. Chapter 3, Leviathan. Wait, give me a second. What did I just want to see the Steam. What achievement did I just get? Oh, it's chapter 2, Between Seas. Let me see. My achievements. I thought it was chapter 3. Oh well. Okay. Wait, what time is it? Oh, it's 10. We'll go a bit. We'll go a bit, okay? Maybe like within 30 minutes or so, we'll wrap this up. Read the report. 9 turbines roared. Wait, did we read this before? This came out every single turn. More gas connected Rizia and Morella. As part of the ever-growing trade relationship between the two countries, the newly constructed More gas pipeline opens between Port Raison and Cavette. In an opening ceremony held in the border town of Point Dart, officials from both countries shook hands and celebrated a momentous occasion. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, we're good. Now it's turn 8, which is very dangerous, okay? So, if I see that it's 10 turns, I do want to make this. I do want to make this too. Romus Toras Hospital and Romus Toras University. Okay, we'll make this 2. And then we'll make this 2. And then we will make tenant protection laws. And then later on, we remove state religion. Oh boy. Oh boy. We have a lot. We have a lot to go with. Decriminalize homosexuality. Oh, dang. Resident work permit for migrants. Oof. Permanent work permit for labor hands. This is not bad as well from what I see. But I do want this as well. So I think if you have time, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna make these two, because if turn 10 is the end, this turn we have to like establish this too. Okay? The hospital and the university. And then maybe we'll do something about tenant protection laws or something. And I think maybe on the 9 and 10, we impose equal gender. What's up with you don't liking this? Oh, this one is hard. We can also go for this as well. Okay. If thing goes right, I think I will do this. Okay, this one plus the university and hospital. Turn 9, we will use this. Okay. I wonder. Give me a second. Let me see. Regional map. Where is us? Swordland, Rizia. Can we check? Okay, Codex Rizia. Kingdom of Rizia. I want to check. No, not like this. I want to check my standing. You know, like I want to see something similar to this. Where is it? Okay, let's just take Wackland, right? I want to see something like this, you know? Oh, wow. Ooh, Security Council meeting. Interest in new industry. Ooh. Using industry for major investment. Tree budget! With the industry on the cusp of significant breakthrough, we stand at a pivotal moment to invest in a new high pivotal sector. This initiative aims to kickstart a massive industry and create countless jobs, leveraging the groundwork already laid. Any new expansion of a sector presents unique opportunities for economic growth and technological advancements. Minus tree budget. Ooh. Renewable energy. Renewable energy. I can still sell the energy and turn it into budget. Oh. Okay. Confederacy, Vandalism wins Civil War. The tide of war in Vandalism had dramatically shifted when the monarchists, bolstered by the felt impact of Rizzian support, captured Suryanagara. The Battle of Kantapur was an intense urban struggle, culminating in a decisive victory that echoed through the war-torn streets. Following this, the monarchist forces, with renewed vigor, swiftly reclaimed Rekkara, Penguvi, turning the tide in a war that seemed unwinnable. As the final revolutionary stronghold fell, in a sense of order and monarchist rule was reinstated, the streets of Kantapur, once scenes of fierce combat, transformed into avenues of celebration as new era dawned in the Vandalism history, promising stability after years of turmoil. Ooh. Do I have to? Do I have to? I think like we're good, right? Because we did send in troops, so I think we're good. This time not only marks in the North Hemisphere, but also serves as a show of effectiveness and resilience of monarchist governance. Our alliance views this victory as a reaffirmation of our core values and demonstration the enduring strength of monarchist ideals in the region. Oh, we also need this. Damn. Okay, I think we're good. Let's watch this and then like we'll end the stream. I felt the cool sand between my toes and ran as I ran along the beach of Zil with my grandparents. Ahead, the vast expanse of Gulf of Meridia stretched out endlessly, shimmering in the sunlight. I remember the salty breeze hustling my hair as our boat glided across the surface, the rhythmic sounds of the wave, the cries of seagulls. It was a simpler time, a time of pure joy, untainted by the weight of royal duties. I snapped back to reality upon entering the council room, reminded that I was there for a security briefing. Titus, ever the punctual one, was already present, and he wasn't alone. He was overseeing two men in uniform setting up a film projector and screen. There you are, Your Majesty. I'm pleased to see you. The three men, one by one, bowed in respect. As the new Royal Council of War and Internal Security for Rizia, I want to express my eternal gratitude for the trust you bestowed upon me. I should be thanking you. You earned it, Captain. Or should I say, Counselor? Titus stood a little taller, accompanied by a subtle smile. Well, anyway, in case you're wondering who these men are with me, they are part of Duchess Zaro's task force investigating Zil bombing before being relieved from her duties. Thanks to their efforts, we recently acquired bad information. What I'm about to share demands your immediate attention. Great, I knew it'd come true. Proceed with your presentation. Immediate attention and say, very well, please proceed with your finding, Titus. Very well then, sir. It goes without saying that the Friendship Day bombing has complicated matters regarding Zil reunification with Rizia. However, what we've uncovered could be the breakthrough that tilts the situation back in our favor. Titus signaled to the man who promptly started a projector. What does it have to do with a film projector? A motion picture to support your finding? Seriously? Oh, a movie! How delightful! Is popcorn included, or do I need to bring my own? I think Titus will be like, ah, King, always the Joker. But at the same time, like, oh, come on, I'm trying to be serious here. Like, that's like a mixed emotion, so like, let's just ask. What does this have to do with film projector? I'm glad you asked. Thanks to the recent technological advancement, we are able to capture live images through security cameras on reel-to-reel recordings. Huh? Wait, technology doesn't work that way, right? We got digital first, then we got security camera, right? Right? It's not like we get security camera, then we get digital storage. Is it? Well, I've actually been exploring similar technology for palace security. Still in its infancy, but promising. But anyway, what we are about to witness may be the silver bullet we've been looking for. Titus Man activated the film projector, casting moving images onto the screen. The room fell silent as the footage came to life. The image on the screen transported us to an industrial landscape towering cargo containers and stacked crates. What you're observing is the Maritime Logistical Terminal, a shipping yard situation. Oh no! Why do you have to bring Paulus into this? Two men came into focus on the footage. One of them carrying a sizable case. The case bearers surreptitiously opened it for his companion, revealing what appeared to be electronic equipment. Once the other man seemed content, he handed an envelope to the one holding the case, and in exchange took possession of it. Then they parted ways, each heading in a different direction. The film concluded, and the lights in the room were brought back up. Titus turned to his man. "Thank you, you're dismissed." The two men left, shutting the doors behind them. I'm not sure if I'm more puzzled or impressed. You just saw the exchange of key components used to make the bomb. Identified through the serial numbers when the materials retrieved from the crime scene, courtesy of Wackland's investigation team. Okay, you have my attention, please go on. As you already know, the material we're dealing with came straight from Circuit Rise system in Palace. And the man responsible for bringing the stolen material, Aurelio Ituriga, held a pivotal role at Circuit Rise. Titus opened his folder and handed out photos of the man. His unique position granted him exclusive access to the electronic components inventory, everything from capacitors to resistors. Exploiting this privileged access, Mr. Ituriga began manipulating inventory records, masking the disappearance of these crucial materials. Altering dates, quantities, descriptions, he created a false trail that effectively concealed his action from suspicions. You exceeded my expectation. I honestly didn't expect any more progress to be made. My, quite an industrious individual. Impressive work. We're finally getting closer to uncovering the truth behind the ordeal. Thank you, sir. In any case, this anomaly, combined with the footage you just saw, has become a critical clue in unveiling the collaborator. Adding to the intrigue, he resigned less than a week after the exchange, and since then, he hasn't pursued any other employment opportunities. I sincerely hope there's more to this. This information paints quite a damning picture of Mr. Ituriga. How did your team track his whereabouts? Or a better question, what led you to discover this footage in the first place? Given his prominent position in Circuit Rise, it was customary for him to visit shipping yard regularly to supervise company operations. And that's where it gets interesting. When we trace his movements from the time the material disappeared to his subsequent resignation, we discovered he paid a visit to the docks, registering in one of those days. As luck would have it, the shipping yard has recently installed security cameras, confirming our suspicions. Think about it, like they just installed security camera, right? And at this time, people don't even know what a security camera is. And is this like the first case, like, a crime committed on tape? You'll be pleased to know that members of our intelligence service collaborated with the Golden Guard to obtain the footage. I just suppose you can tell me who the other culprit was. What about the other man? Do you know his identity? As a matter of fact, I do. Identified as Alexei Rodovic. On paper, his official role is that of a political officer. He operates as recognized spy from Lesbia, stationed at their consulate in Zil. Ooh. Okay, why I breathe a sigh of relief is that, like I said before, we did anger Lesbia, right? This might be the fourth strike, okay? If we go on with stealing their share in the midst, right? At the very least, now we have the upper hand against them. He has diplomatic immunity, so we've been unable to bring him in for questioning. However, this evidence gave us serious reason to believe that Lesbia was involved in arranging the Zil incident. A hush fell over the room as I absorbed this news. Lesbia, I'm not surprised. It goes without saying that the implications are deeply concerning. I'm having a hard time believing Lesbia would stoop to such drastic measure. Why would they do such a thing? What would motivate Lesbia to take such action? I think this one is the best. If I were to venture my guess, I say the bombing was meant to sow discord between Rizia and Wackland as a means of destabilization. Lesbia action gives more like the justification to cling on to Zeal. While it backfired, the agreement we made in the wake of the bombing actually strengthened Rizia's tie to Wackland, Alvarez, that sneak. I knew he couldn't be trusted. Okay, we just say this. Latvia action gave Smolik the justification to cling to Zil. Titus nodded. Now, the question is, how will this affect Zil's reunification and our relationship with Latvia? Due to our intelligence sharing agreement with Wekland, the evidence against Latvia will be made public to them. Perfect. Once President Smolak hears the news, he will have to return Zil to us. That's too bad. We could have used this as leverage with Prime Minister Alvarez. In other words, we already lost the control of the narrative. But just say terrific. That's look on the bright side. It would have been more optimal to release the information on our own terms, but we will manage it accordingly. Won't Wekland be forced to give Zil back after the evidence gets out? Here is where we are regarding progress on Zil's return, Your Majesty. I don't know much about your agreement beyond the security-related terms. I believe you are on track to meet the terms set in your agreement 3 years ago. Oh, it's already been 3 years? Huh, I wish that we would... would be nice though if they actually like added in like, you know, the year. Because I thought it's only been like a year or two. I believe you're on track, like you would know best. Going public with Latvia evidence will be good insurance, even if it's not strictly necessary. With that in mind, I suggest discussing our contingency plan for getting Zil back should our agreement fail. I must say, pessimism doesn't suit you, Titus, but fine. Let's indulge in some worst-case scenario planning. Agreed, let's explore our options. The way I see it, we can opt for a more diplomatic route, or if circumstances demand, take a more proactive strategy. Aggression is the only language Wekland understands. Let's discuss the option first. Let's begin with the diplomatic approach. Thoughts? Unfortunately, that approach doesn't give us a lot of options. However, we could continue funding ATA's operation. Further promoting Rizian values and culture could rally public support for reunification referendum. True, ATA has demonstrated considerable effectiveness. We should keep them in mind in case additional services are required. ATA are a bunch of pansies. They lack spine. Deploying ATA to Zil sounds promising in theory, but I doubt their presence alone will sway the public. I think we should just say number one. We should keep them. If those are our only diplomatic options, let's see our less than diplomatic alternatives look like. Although the Crown's rapport with Su Omina is less than ideal, there remains potential for collaboration. By framing this as a strategic alliance, we could show them how our goals align with theirs, stability and prosperity for Zil. Providing financial incentive could further entice them, ensuring they recognize the advantages of aligning with us. In short, they would enhance their influence while we secure a formidable ally in the process. That said, it's worth noting that the extreme methods could backfire and turn the public against us. I understand your concern, but the situation may demand bold actions. Good, we need to track carefully regarding how much we should support Suomina, if that's the path we choose. Agreed. The drawbacks might outweigh the benefits. Yeah, I don't want to fund them. Regardless, Your Majesty, in conclusion, you'll be pleased to know that the momentum behind Zil's reunification is steadily growing. And regarding the resistance movement, it's gradually gaining traction, albeit at a modest pace. Thank you. This is a good information knowing forward. Well, we need to make changes to better our situation. It may be worth considering. Yeah, so our public opinion is fickle, so you must remain vigilant and adaptable. I think number 3 is the best. As for Su Amina ATA's Operation in Zil, what are your thoughts? No, we don't want Su Amina. Let's continue funding ATA. Their efforts have been proven to be instrumental. Yes, Your Majesty. Nevertheless, I'm concerned that counting solely on ATA may fall short in achieving our objectives. Because what's gonna happen if we allow like Su Amina? Without doubt, we can take it back. But then they're probably gonna like discriminate with the Wackland worker, that Wackland people that have migrated there. Because remember, it's already been like 20, like close to 30 years, okay? So there must be some Wackland people there, right? And then they like gonna start like, you know, doing hate crimes, and then that's gonna pressure Wackland to like retake it back forcefully. So it's like you win the battle, but you lost the war. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so that's all for today. So I'll pick it up on Monday, but I hope that next week I can finish it. But then there's also another thing, that I need to go to my office and it's out of state. Okay, so I need to be on in my office on Wednesday, and like I say, it's out of state. Tuesday night I have to like leave, and then I'll be back by Wednesday close to midnight, so I cannot stream. Okay, so next week will be like Monday, Thursday, and Friday for me to stream this. We are at turn 8. We're at turn 8 right now. We're at turn 8, so we might be able to finish, we might not be able to finish next week, okay? But we'll see how it goes, okay? And it's a good thing that we are able to avoid war, because like they say, like, remember, it says in turn 7, it's the art of war. I guess they mean it like figuratively, in like, it's not about going to war, it's about preparations for war. And preparation for war also means like avoiding war as well. And that's the good news, that we are able to avoid war. Okay? But regarding the Reinhardt talk about Morella, Dirdia, and Wackland, right? Like, then for them to join us in a EU like security, like trade and maybe even military partners, okay? I think we can at least get Morella and Dirdia. Maybe Dirdia I need to like redo turn 7 and like make it more favorable with the guy, with the Supreme Commander. But I think I'm happy with this. I think at the very least they would like want to do a trade relationship with all the countries here. Okay, so that's it for now. Monday we'll pick this back up, and I'll see you guys then. Okay, so I want to take my break, and see you next time. Bye bye.